Hello, loves, and welcome back to the Akashic Sunday Sessions with your hostess, Amaryllis. Each week, I channel messages from the Akashic Records, and I also do a card drawing to give guidance and inspiration and direction for the week ahead. And for this week, it's August 31st. The message was loud and clear, very big, came through so strong, but it took me a minute to condense it down to just a couple of words. So the message for this week is present assessment. In the records, I heard that we cannot know where we're going at this point. There is no future planning in the way that we used to. We don't know what's ahead, even short term. For so many of us, this can be extremely anxiety producing, especially those that like to know and like to plan. And because we cannot do that, because we cannot look ahead and see ahead and plan, we have to bring it back to the present moment. And in the present moment, our life as we are currently living, and take stock of what's working and what's not working. How is your life going right now? Take assessment. What needs to change? What needs to shift? And take stock, and also know that there is no shame and no blame as you do this. One of the messages that very clearly came through was that it can be a tough pill to swallow as you sit and take stock of where you are presently. If things aren't working, if it feels pretty and if you're in a place where you've been waiting for things to change externally, if you've been waiting for something else to happen externally outside of yourself to shift and change so that your life is better, so that you feel better, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you've been waiting, stop waiting. You have to bring it into your now. Look at your life right now, how you're living, how you're feeling, and do what needs to be done. Take the action. The shame and the blame was repeated several times. There's no shame, there's no blame. There's no shame, there's no blame. You're not wrong for where you are in your current situation if it's not working for you. So much has changed and shifted in 2020. There's no shame and blame, and that if you get stuck in this place of shame and blame, it's just another distraction. It's just another form of self-sabotage to keep you stuck right where you are instead of moving forward with the action that you need to take to make things better. Because the present moment, your present life, needs to change. We can't look forward. It has to be in the present moment. The card drawn for this week was the Daughter of Swords, taken from the Mother Peace Tarot by Vicky Noble. In a traditional tarot, it's the page. And I laughed when I saw this because there's so much movement here, especially the cyclone, the kind of the tornado, the whirlwind above her head. There's a lot of air and movement, and swords also speak of movement and the energy of air, which is something that we might feel as we want to do the things, right? Speaking about last week, and in that excited energy, that energy of like, I just have to do things, they may be done in a reckless way, in a careless way, in an overzealous, over-enthusiastic way that isn't necessarily the best way. There may be a lot of overthinking. So the card is speaking to, instead of that overzealous, reckless energy of action, that there's an energy, this is through the shamanic stone. You can channel that through the shamanic stone and shift it into wisdom, aligned action, not just a frenzy of movement and mental thought. Aligned action. It pairs perfectly with this week's message, and the sword, the message through the records was that the sword is you're cutting through the BS about your present situation. And if you've been waiting and hanging tight until things change or things go back to the way they were, my personal thought is they're not going to go back to the way they were. That's not from the records, that's just me saying that they're not going to go back to the way they were. And if that is the case, then we've got to do something different. All right, present assessment. Looking at your life as it is now and having the courage to take those changes, inspired by what could be better. Let that inspiration pull you forward. That's the message from the Akashic Records this week, August 31st. Thank you so much for being here, and I will be back again next Sunday with another message. You can find it here on Instagram, and if you would like, so that you don't have to remember every single Sunday, you can also go to the link and subscribe so that every Sunday you get the messages, the video link delivered to your inbox. Done. No reminder necessary, no remembering necessary. Until next week, I will see you then. Mwah.